What's up, YouTube? It's Bianca J, and I'm here today with a prophetic message from the Lord. And the title of today's video is, okay, you guys, again, I don't have a title, but I do have a dream broke down for you guys. So in this dream, right, I was headed to my cousin's wedding, right? And so me, my mom, and my children were on the freeway, right? And so we're getting ready to approach. We have a GPS on, and so we're getting ready to approach the exit, but somehow we ended up missing it. So we ended up going, it was like a little stretch to the next exit so we can turn around to go back to the exit that we missed. And so in the midst of all of that, my grandmother called, and she was like, "Where are you?" You know, we were like, we're on the freeway. We're headed there, but we'll be there in a few minutes. Like we were headed there. We were on the freeway. And so, although we had missed the exit, you guys, so we ended up getting off on that next exit, and so we were stopped at a light when we get off on the exit ramp. And so it was this lady. It was this lady. She looked like she had like a tan from being out in the sun too long. She might have even been like sunburnt, right? And so she had a little boy with her, and she was like digging in the garbage. I could tell that she was looking for food. She was digging in the trash. Right. And it was this other lady that was standing at the crosswalk, you know, waiting for the crosswalk to change. She was just standing there, and she had on a red dress with one of those like oversized big hats, and it was red with a flower on there. And then she had like this little dainty purse, and it was a Celine bag. And so this lady looked like she was like wealthy, but then she looked like she was like very bougie, right? And so I tell my mother I was sitting in the back seat, and I tell my mother, I said, can you hand me my purse? Because I wanted to give the lady and her son some money, because I could tell that they were hungry digging in the trash. And so my mom handed me back my purse, and I go through it, and inside of my pocket of my purse, it was like these like tickets, like it was just tickets and like some money, right? And so I was going to give the lady all the money, and then God said, give her $10. Give her $10. And so I put out 2 5s, and I let the window down to hand the money out the window to the lady for her and her son to get something to eat. And so out of nowhere, there was a guy and his girlfriend that just came out of nowhere, and she grabbed the money, and she said, "Oh, God told me that something good was going to happen to me today," right? And then she takes the money and she takes off. And so the little boy ended up like going behind her, like walking really fast behind her and her boyfriend. And so I was like, well, I'm going to get out the car to see if this lady and her boyfriend was with them. Like, are they all together or what? Because I see the little boy like trailing behind them really fast. And so when I get to where they went, they were stopped in between like these 2 stores, and the little boy was sitting on some steps that happened to be like some church steps, right? And so I see the lady holding up the $5 bill, looking at it, and she held up another $5 bill, and she looked at it. Remember, I was giving the boy and his mother the 2 5s. And so now I'm realizing, because I see how sad the little boy is looking sitting on the church steps, that he wasn't with them. Like, they just stole that blessing that was meant for him and his mother, right? So I tell him, I said, I'll be right back. I was about to run to my car to get more money to give to him so that him and his mother can get something to eat. But once I got back to the car, his mother was nowhere in sight. Like, she was nowhere in sight. And so the lady with the red dress on, she was still standing there. Like, she had watched the whole thing unfold. But like I said, that lady was very wealthy. She could have easily, you know, helped that boy and his mother get something to eat. But instead, she decided to watch, right? Like a monitoring spirit. She just decided to watch everything unfold. And so she kind of like tooted like her face up, and then she held her Celine bag up like this, and then she switched on across the street. And so I ended up waking up from the dream then. And so the lady I went ahead and broke down this dream. I can tell you guys how I broke it down. Let me see. Go to my notes so I don't leave out nothing. Okay, so the lady in the red dress, like I said, she represented it. You know what, let me go back because I left out a part. And it was like when we got off the freeway, the lady in the red dress was sitting right there on the sidewalk at the crosswalk getting ready to cross, but she didn't cross. And behind her, it was this off-white building that says Celine on there, right? And I remember thinking when I first seen that building, I was like, this must be a Celine outlet, or this must be the Celine headquarters, right? So I forgot to say that part, you guys, my bad. Okay, so like I was saying, the lady in the red dress, she represented a monitoring spirit that was blocking the little boy and his mother from getting their blessing, right? And so the lady and her boyfriend who stole the money, they were actually stealing the little boy and his mother's blessing, right? That was meant for them. They took it. And remember, the lady was like, oh, God told me something good was going to happen to me today. But that was just representing the monitoring spirit and the enemy stealing the blessing, right? And remember how we went past the exit and we had to turn around to come back. And so let me see. So God has been trying to give away, we've been trying to give you this blessing, right? But you keep missing the opportunity. Remember how I missed the exit? So you keep missing the opportunity. Like, he'll bring the blessing there, but somehow you miss it, right? You still miss it, even with that GPS on. Remember, I had the GPS on and I still missed the exit. And so that's what's happening to whomever this word is for. Like, God keep bringing this blessing to you, but somehow you keep missing it. And so God is going to bring this blessing back to you. Because remember, I was getting ready to circle around to go back to the exit that I missed. And so God is getting ready to bring this blessing back to you. And you have to be aware of people around you who could have monitoring spirits on them, right? Because they're the reason why you're missing this blessing, right? And so when God sends this blessing back to you, you should be expecting it. And you're not to run off, because remember, the little boy mother ran off. Like, I couldn't find her anywhere. She just disappeared, right? So you're not to run off trying to do it on your own strength, because God is saying he's going to bring it back. Like, you won't have to go looking for it. Remember, because she probably went off to somewhere else trying to look for food, because I didn't see her nowhere. But God is saying that he's going to bring this back to you. You won't have to go look for it, right? And just be aware of that monitoring spirit that's actually trying to stop you from getting your blessing. And so God is just saying, be still, because he's running it back. He's rerouting you, right? Remember, I had to get rerouted to go back to the exit that I missed. So God is rerouting this thing back to you. He's going to take you a different route so you won't miss it this time, right? And so remember the lady in the red dress that I said she was like real bougie, real arrogant. And she had like the Celine bag in her hand that she held up like and walked off. And I said she was like really wealthy. She could have been a blessing to these people, but instead she decided to watch them struggle, right? She decided to watch them struggle to find food when she was right there with a whole Celine bag. And like I said, she looked very wealthy, very well off, but she would not help them. And so God is God is going to reroute that blessing back to you. Although this person has been holding you up, even though they had something that could help you, they have been holding you up. But God is saying that he's getting ready to bring it back. Just be still, and this time you won't miss it. And so that big off-white building, remember I said in the back, and when I first seen it, I thought, like, oh, this must be the Celine outlet, or this must be like the Celine headquarters. And it was like this big, tall, off-white building. And then on top of it had Celine wrote on the top of it, the name. And so I remember thinking like that. Like I said, I thought that was the outlet or the headquarters. And so the outlet represented represented like heaven headquarters, right? Like the headquarters stood tall over this lady in this red dress, which was the enemy, which was the monitoring spirit. And so you don't have to worry about the monitoring spirit, because remember I told you that building stood tall. It was like a giant building that stood tall. And although that lady had that Celine bag in her hand, it was the Celine headquarters right there. Like, so you have heaven on your side. Like the enemy won't be able to stop this blessing this time. Like, you have heaven on your side, right? And so what God has for you, no one or nothing can stop you, can come against you from getting this blessing, because you're going to receive it this time, right? And so the enemy, which would have been the lady, the monitoring spirit in the red dress, she looked at so small compared to that big building. Like, it was nothing. If you put her against that big Celine, like, she had that Celine bag and she was standing there on the ground in front of the building, like at the crosswalk. But this big building stood so tall and it was so massive. Like, it's nothing that she can do to stop what's going on in that building, right? Like, what God is doing for you is nothing that the enemy will be able to do to stop it. And so, like I said, he's bringing that blessing back to you. So don't worry, you won't miss it this time. And I had a scripture that I wanted to read to you guys. I gotta find it on my notes. And so the scripture that I have for you guys is Psalms 107, verse 1. And it says, "Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his mercies endure forever." And so, you guys, that's the scripture that I have for you guys today. But that's all I also have for you guys today. I do have another video that I'm getting ready to upload after this one, so please go check that one out as well. And until my next one, you guys, as always, stay focused and be blessed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye.